There is wait times in the children's department in the ER, but there is more of wait times in the adult section of the ER. The problem the hospital is having that they struggle with is the number of people that are allowed in the ER at one time. Most of the people have to stay in the waiting area, and so there is arguments because there's a lot of people that want to be in the ER with the children's wing, but they're not allowed to be because there's only one person allowed at a time, one or two people allowed. So, and yes, there is a struggle with wait times, but it doesn't matter if it's the children's wing or the adult wing. They struggle with wait times. Overall, the whole hospital struggles with wait times, and it's because of a lack of staff. And part of that reason is because of the Doug Ford government reducing staff. This hospital also discharges people that are houseless onto the streets after they've been in the hospital. This hospital also has homeless people living at the hospital that don't have sick loved ones there. They're living there at the hospital because they have nowhere to go once they're discharged. Or they're hanging around hoping to get scripts from the hospital. When you go to the hospital, it's divided into two sections of the hospital. The ER is, and one side's children's and one side's adults. And like I said, both sides have extreme wait times that are really long because they deal with so many people. We're a city of 500,000 almost now. It never used to be that way when I was a kid. A good majority of our population doesn't have family doctors, and I'm one of them. Also, I've heard from a number of different people is that they're out of touch with reality when it comes to the connection between family doctors and the hospital. There's no real connection, so a lot of it is miscommunication between doctors. And if you have no family doctor, these people at the hospital are just left guessing. And overall healthcare, a lot of the times it's just doctors guessing what's wrong with you. They really have no clue, and they're not even doing proper testing. They used to test poop and urine. They don't even do that anymore with poop. They're not even testing poop. Like, I have a sick loved one who is in ICU, and they didn't even do no testing for that. Also, in the ER, they're allowed to form people in the ER. I don't know if they're doing that now, but they were doing that and holding people there against their will. So if you go here and you're in ICU and then you try to leave and then you return after you're in an ICU unit and then you leave and then you left because there was a main line left in and then you return to the hospital, they try to hold you and put you on the 7th floor of the hospital. That ain't right either. The reason why they do that is because you're still not out of the sedation that you were in the ICU on, which is propofol and Dilaudid. So you're still delirious, and then they try to say you're crazy. And meanwhile, it takes months for this drug, propofol and Dilaudid, to wear off. And so sometimes people are not fully aware for months after they've been hospitalized in the ICU. I stayed 2 months in the hospital with a sick loved one, and I got to see what's going on. And then, I was in the Thunder Bay Hospital with my sick grandmother and even the Geraldton Hospital. So I got to see Northern Ontario's healthcare system and how bad that is. And then to come back to London, Ontario and see our hospital system so fragmented really pissed me off. I got very lucky, and I had a person in the ER that was really nice and help me through the process of having a sick loved one there, and get me through it. But I didn't appreciate being on the 7th floor with my loved one. Meanwhile, it was the fault of their own for not understanding that, once you're in hospital and ICU and you've been sedated, then the sedation's not going to wear off, right? So obviously you're going to be talking funny and being weird for months after, because the sedation hasn't worked its way through your bloodstream or your body yet.